Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday night yoga. So excited to have you here, either now or whenever you may be joining. Let's go ahead and take a moment to arrive on our mats. And as you begin to settle in, go ahead and make your way into a cross-leg position. Maybe you move a little flesh out from under your sit bones. It'll help you get nice and grounded. Beautiful. And as you begin to settle in, go ahead and maybe take a moment to allow your eyes to close. And beginning to deepen your breath. Maybe we start with a few, just inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. Now beginning to draw your air both in and out through the nose. And as you do this, I want you to suck the air slowly, kind of making a whisper noise at the back of your throat as you inhale and exhale. And this is the beginning of the activation of the Ujjayi breath, or the victory breath. And as you take a few more breaths here, getting centered, preparing to move your body, I would just like to reflect on intuition and just how in today's day and age we can get so caught up with what other people think we should be doing, whether it's teachers or doctors or friends, family, when truly the only person who really knows what's best for you is yourself. And now, yes, we can definitely go to others for advice, especially in areas that they're educated that we may not be, but just taking the time during this class to really tap into your body, into your intuition about what feels right for you and what might not. And always feel free to modify any of the poses to fit your needs. These are all just options for practice. So on your next inhale, drawing the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold, nice straight spine. Drawing the crown of that head forward, and on an exhale, releasing the head and neck. Breathing into that back body. On your inhale, beginning to press up to seated. Go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. This will help target the other hip a little bit. Inhaling, drawing the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, nice straight back. Hands come to the mat, drawing that crown forward. One more deep inhale and exhale, releasing the head and neck towards the mat. beginning to press up. Go ahead and draw behind the knees, lifting them up and lengthening your legs straight out in front of you. I can't tell what can be seen because the bottom of my screen is cut off, but go ahead and flex those feet. Maybe do one more little roll of the flesh out from under the sit bones. When you feel nice and grounded, almost like your pelvis can tilt forward a little bit. And if it can't, maybe take a quick moment to grab a pillow or a block. And elevating our hips is another great way to kind of get a little bit deeper into the poses and get a little bit straighter back. We really want to honor our spine in our practice. So once you find that nice straight spine, nice strong legs, go ahead and interlace the fingers, pressing the hands forward. And on an inhale, beginning to press those arms up overhead. Breathing here. And on your next exhale, releasing the hands down. Go ahead and switch the cross of those fingers. Pressing the palms forward. Inhale up. Just as far as you can, working towards nice straight elbows. So you may be here, but as you progress, beginning to work towards having your arms parallel to your ears. Just a couple more breaths here. And exhale, release. If you've propped up on a pillow or block, go ahead and remove that now. Taking the feet nice and wide. Go ahead and take them as wide as you can to where you can still have your heels on the ground and the toes pointing up. And again, you might want to roll a little flesh out from under the sit bones. Again, getting a little bit of a pelvic tilt, allowing you to lengthen up through the spine. And from here, just beginning to walk your hands forward into a fold, keeping those feet nice and flexed, pressing out through the heels. And feel free to keep a little micro bend in the knee. If you feel any tugging, like right at the back of the knee, go ahead and keep that micro bend. You really want the stretches to be in your bigger muscle groups. Just a few more deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. And beginning to walk your hands over to the right. And you might really press into that left hand, working towards twisting that chest to be able to fold towards the leg. Walking your hands through center, over to the left. This time, maybe grabbing a little bit into those right fingertips to kind of encourage that front body, your chest, to come around parallel to the leg. And breathing into the fold. Inhale through center and pressing up. Go ahead and draw behind the knees, drawing the legs in and making your way onto your hands and knees. We're just going to take like 3 breaths here. Inhaling crown and tailbone up into cow. Exhale, pressing back into cat. Inhale forward. And exhale back. One more time. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Let's go ahead and take just a little bit of intuitive flow. Since our focus is intuition and tapping into our bodies, you might begin to circle around with the shoulders, kind of pressing up and down. Maybe you come forwards and backwards, just working into any tight spots. If you find a sweet spot, feel free to pause and take an extra breath. Beautiful. With your next inhale, coming back to neutral spine. Bringing those big toes together and the knees wide. Pressing the hips back, child's pose. Letting that belly sink down. Forehead reaches the mat. Maybe you even give a little press into your fingertips, just pushing those hips back just a little bit more. Really releasing in the lower back there. Inhale forward onto the hands and knees. And we're just going to bring our knees together, pressing back into child's pose. Now our belly is resting on our legs. And we're going to begin to walk our hands over to the right. And you can kind of lift that belly up, shifting it over to the right side. Maybe walking out the fingertips of that left hand, really getting a nice stretch across that whole left side body. Breathing deeply into any tight spots. Opening the lungs. On your next inhale, coming through center. Exhale over to the left. Maybe you inch those right fingertips forward a little bit more to get a little deeper stretch. On your next inhale, coming through center, onto your hands and knees, and making your way all the way to your belly. Go ahead and bring your hands along your side, but you're going to have your palms facing down. Then you might bring your chin to the mat. Then we're going to lift that right leg up, pressing out through the toes, squeezing as you press that foot up towards the sky. Breathing here. And release. Inhale, left leg up. Pressing up. Pointing through the toes, so lengthening out as you press up. Squeezing the glute. And release. We'll do that one more time each side. Inhale, right leg up. Continually pressing up and out. And release. Inhale, left leg up. And release. Beautiful work. Go ahead and bring your hands up onto, you're going to come up onto your fingertips, so kind of like spider hands. And you're going to have your hands nice and wide, wider than the mat. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Just start by lifting by using your back muscle. So I'm not pressing into my hands at all. So it's like coming into a baby cobra. And then go ahead and just drop the left shoulder down. Up through center, inhale, and then exhale, right shoulder down. Inhale, up. Exhale, drop. Inhale, up. Exhale, drop. If this is feeling all right for you and it feels like a nice stretch, not like a tweaking, let's go ahead and do one more time. On your next inhale, coming back to center, releasing the hands right to under the shoulders and pressing back. We're going to go all the way to down dog and then begin making our way to the top of the mat. Exhale, back, down dog. Maybe you open up the hamstrings, walking one foot out, then the other. On an inhale, bending deeply into the knees and walking your feet up to your hands. Go ahead and take a nice deep exhale in your forward fold. Inhale, tucking the tailbone, reverse swan dive, nice strong core, all the way up. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to come and face you guys now, so you can stay at the top of your mat or face your screen, whatever feels good for you. Now you can do the side bends without adding the arms or the side bends with prayer pose, or with your pointer fingers up, interlacing the rest of the fingers. Inhale, arms up overhead. And as we go into the side bend, I really want you to push strongly. So first I'm going to bend to the right. So you're going to press really strongly through that right foot so that the hips don't shift out to the side. You're going to try and keep the hips right above your ankles. Inhale up, exhale over to the left. Inhale up. And now we're going to exhale into a back bend. Same thing, not shifting the hips way forward, trying to keep them back over your ankles, letting the back bend come from your top, from the top part of your back, right under your shoulder blades, as if you're like draping over like a couch arm. Keeping that tailbone tucked, core strong, tucking that belly button in, really protecting the lower back here. And inhale up to center. Go ahead, release the arms, taking the feet nice and wide. Now you can have your feet with the toes pointing straight forward or slightly in, Or maybe you want to switch them up and try both throughout this stretch. You'll find it stretches a slightly different spot in the legs. So go ahead and bring your hands to your hips, drawing that chest forward, nice long spine. Exhale, dropping your head towards the mat. Maybe you keep your hands on your hips. Maybe you just gently drop the hands towards the mat. Or you can place your hands, your elbows on blocks. Or maybe you can get your feet wide enough and they come all the way to the floor. Dropping that head towards the floor. Maybe you even get the crown of the head on the floor. Wherever you're at today, knowing that that is perfect. I'm going to bring in a centering thought. I trust that I, and only I, know what's best for me. Beginning to press up here. I'm going to do the twisted variation, but you can either continue to just stretching through the legs. Maybe you switch the foot position here. Maybe you have one elbow on the mat, on the block, and come up into a twist with your hand on your hip. Maybe you place your hand onto the mat, drawing the crown of that head forward, twisting from the rib cage here, opening the shoulders. Maybe you draw that arm up overhead. Maybe you just rest it on your back. Just getting a nice spinal twist here. And exhale, release. Inhale, choosing your position, and coming up other side. Exhale, releasing that hand to the mat, beginning to heel toe your feet in, forward fold. When your feet are about hips distance apart, go ahead and take a nice deep exhale into this fold. Then beginning to tilt the hips back, front body forward. Inhale right up into chair position. You can also have your hands at your heart. Taking a gaze down, being sure you can see your toes. If you can't see, if you can shift those hips back a little bit more, tucking that belly button in, dropping that tailbone down, opening the chest, dropping those shoulders down away from the ears. Just a couple more breaths here. Beautiful work. I know this is a really strong pose. And on your next inhale, pushing strongly into the feet all the way up to standing. We're going to make our way to the mat. I'm going to do it with a vinyasa, but also feel free to make your way to the mat any way you prefer. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back into high plank. Inhale if you've come here. And exhale, knees, chest, chin. Baby cobra. And back into child's pose. Inhale forward from child's pose and making our way all the way onto our backs. With just a few minutes left and wanting to leave a minute or two for Shavasana, we'll just do a couple floor poses. So let's go ahead and take figure 4, crossing that left ankle over the right knee. And inhale, drawing up and grabbing behind the thigh, or maybe in front of the shin. If you're feeling like you even want to go a little deeper into this, we can do a reclined pigeon, where you'll hook your foot into the crux of your elbow and straighten that leg, the bottom leg. Because my bottom leg is not coming to the mat, I'm going to go ahead and keep it in a figure 4. But if you're open and you're flexible and your bottom leg can come to the mat, go ahead and practice there. On your next exhale, releasing that right foot to the mat and switching the cross. Right ankle comes up, keeping that top foot, that right foot nice and flexed. Inhale, left leg up. I keep both feet flexed just so I don't have to think about it. If you want to relax that bottom foot, you can. Really make sure you keep that right foot flexed. That'll protect the knee joint over continued yoga practice. Again, I'm going to for a couple breaths, and if you would like to give it a try, or you're feeling really open tonight, opening towards reclined pigeon. And returning to figure 4. If you took the reclined pigeon. Just a couple more nice deep breaths here. Into the hips. And releasing that bottom foot, the left foot to the mat. I'm going to take a supine twist. And then I'm going to go over a few minutes, but we're still going to take a Shavasana. So go ahead and cross that left ankle over the right, dropping both feet over to the right. You might be right here, and that feels good to you. If you want to go a little deeper into this twist, maybe you reach back and you can grab that right, right foot with the left hand. Maybe that's enough. Maybe you want to straighten out that left leg. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you want to gaze out over that left shoulder. And if you've turned the head, bringing the head back. If you've straightened the leg, bending that knee again. If you've grabbed the foot, go ahead and release the foot now before inhaling back up through center. Switching the cross of the legs. Right foot on top, dropping to the left. Again, maybe this is right where you want to be tonight. If that is, that's perfect. Options to add on, grabbing that foot, maybe straightening the top leg. Deepening that breath here. If you've straightened that leg, go ahead and rebend it, gazing back forward, releasing that foot, and coming all the way to center. Go ahead and give your knees just one hug in. As you hug those knees in, press those shoulder blades, press that tailbone against the mat. Just a little last opening the spine, neutralizing the spine before elongating out into Shavasana, final resting position. And as you allow your arms to come by your sides, your feet and legs relax. You allow your eyes to close. And just in the vein of really trusting ourselves and our intuition over what other people might have to say about our lives, I have one more mantra or centering thought for Shavasana. I give myself permission to be okay where I am. I know that I am doing my best. Just relaxing into that for the next couple minutes. Deep breath in, beginning to bring awareness back into our body, back into this room. as you're ready, bringing your soles of your feet to the mat, bending the knees, and rolling onto your side. Allow yourself a breath or two here. Before pressing yourself up into seated position. If you have been joining me or will be joining me at all for this December challenge, today's focus, or the word for today, is intuition. And just really listening deeply to yourself and honoring what comes up. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Namaste.